Namaste students, my name is JVS Dr. Neeraj Dholia, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. So the topic of discussion today is the RFLP, that is the restriction fragment length polymorphism. And the RFLP is example of the molecular marker. And in the previous lecture, we have discussed, or we have categorized the molecular markers on two categories. One is the PCR based and one is the non-PCR based. Okay. So this is the example of non-PCR based molecular markers, because we do not amplify the DNA strands or the genes here. We directly test, or we directly uh, find out the maps. Okay, so let's. So the full form of the RFLP is the restriction fragment length polymorphism. So what is this? So restriction fragment length polymorphism, it means a single restriction enzyme produces fragments of different lengths from the same stretch of the genomic DNA of the species. So if there is slightly difference in the genes, or some mutations, some insertion, deletion, changes are there in the individuals of a species. So the restriction enzyme which you choose to uh, create the fragments, that will create different length of fragments of the of the same species, if the differences are there. So here you can take one restriction enzyme, or you can take the combination of restriction enzymes to create the map. Here you can take your test sample will be from, maybe from the strains of a single species, or from different related species. Okay, so how to perform the RFLP or the maps using the RFLP? So first of all, you will isolate the whole DNA, total DNA, from the your test species or test individuals. That may be several individuals of the same species or some related species. Then after the isolation of the DNA, you will choose the restriction enzymes, which enzymes you will utilize, you will apply on the DNA for the digestion. So after choosing, you will apply the restriction enzymes on the selected DNAs. Then these enzymes will digest the DNA, and then the fragments which are available after um, the activity of the enzymes will be separated through the electrophoresis methods. Now in the electrophoresis, because they are separated in a gel, and gel is very delicate, so you have to transfer it from the uh, sensitive gel to the stable supports. It may be nitrocellulose membrane, it may be PVDF membrane or other thing, but it will be somewhat stable solid support. And after transferring on the support, you will apply the radio labeled probes, DNA probes, uh, that will bind, or that will hybridize with the their counterpart on the on your samples, in your samples. And you will perform the southern hybridization technique. You will adopt the southern hybridization for this. So the if the counterparts are available, the probes will bind there, and some the unbinded probes will be will remain there, and you have to wash them to get the clear band images. or clear maps or clear pattern. So you will wash out the extra probes which are not bounded or which are not hybridized with your sample. So the fragments to which the probe has hybridized are detected now by using any method. You can use the uh, film-based autoradiography, photographic film-based autoradiography, or you can directly capture the images using the um, automated machines which capture the image of the illuminated bands. Okay, so the pattern which you get uh, in this method uh, and the result will depend on many things. Okay, so if the strains or if the your sample is uh, different from the different species, it is from different species, definitely you will get different patterns, or the pattern will be different from each lane. And if they are belonging to these one species, single species, the pattern will be somewhat matched, and it will be different if some changes are there. Then the pattern will also affected by the enzymes you selected for the digestion. Means the restriction enzyme, if you take different restriction enzymes, you will get the different pattern from the same samples. Okay, so the next thing which will affect the pattern is the uh, the probes which will you selected or you generated. Okay, so because the probes are the thing which are detectable, or which makes the your sample detectable. Okay, so that will also affect or affect the pattern of the RFLP. So what are the reason that you get the different bending pattern of the uh, same species or the individuals of the same species? Okay, so that that is different uh, because there are some changes occurred in the sequence, their gene sequence, either through the mutation or through some disease or some other stress condition. The sequences have been changed in the individuals. So if the sequences are changed, the restriction enzyme will not recognize the restriction site on the genes, and that will cut different length uh, genes or the different length oligonucleotides of the same species. Okay, if there are some mutations like the deletions, the additions, the point mutations, etc., that will also change the pattern of the RFLP. Okay, so uh, there are the thing which through which you have the detectable signals are the probes. Okay, so the probes may be of different category. Okay, it may be created from the genomic library, it may be it may be collected, or it may be created from the cDNA library, or you can also get or obtain the probes from the chromosome specific libraries. Okay, so uh, the RFLP maps can be assigned to specific chromosome or chromosome arms based on some points, based on some characteristics. Okay, so if in situ hybridization to polytene chromosome, okay, you can assign the RFLP maps to the polytene chromosomes to the it may be used for the linkage with genetic markers already assigned to the specific chromosomes. Okay, so this was all about the RFLP. Now we will discuss the application of the RFLP. What are the applications of the RFLP? So that will be the understanding the identity of and function of the polygenes. For example, the RFLP makes are being generated for several crops, and in the currently and in the future, we can assume that the entire genome of some plant species or some animal species may be mapped using the RFLP. Then determination of chromosome segments alterations of which it is likely to yield the best result, because through the linkage map you cannot find the accurate maps, but here you can get the accurate map because there are many types of the restriction enzymes and that give the different patterns, and that patterns can be assembled, can be merged to get a consolidated result. Then establishing the relationship among the various species, various strains, and you can know the evolutionary relationship. It is highly efficient indirect selection of tightly linked alternative trait, quantitative trait loci, and even for those oligogenes, a direct selection for which may either be difficult or costly. By using this, you can identify the most important loci affecting a quantitative trait, which is not possible through the linkage map. Okay, then you can create the fingerprinting of some species, some varieties, and the identification of and isolation of the gene which are linked with the RFLP locus. So through RFLP locus, the related genes will be identified, and they may be isolated and get identified for creating the maps. So RFLP are very important molecular markers that are very efficient, although they have some issues, like they are costly, and because they are using the radioactive probes, they are risky to handle, and they need the skilled person to perform the RFLP maps. So although some limitations are overcome by the RAPD, but of course this is very helpful in recognizing something which is not possible through the linkage maps. Okay, so this was all about the RFLP, and hope you are satisfied with this detailed session. If you have any query, you can write in the comment box. I will try to resolve that. And this session is powered by Digital Version 2, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Thank you.